What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video. My name is Mo, and today in this video we'll be doing an FPL player watch list for game week 3, which is only a couple of days away. So in this video I'll be looking at players who I've identified from the first couple of game weeks as potential players to look to bring into our squads. I'll be looking into data, analysis, how they performed so far, points they've accrued, some background stats, and fixtures that are coming up as well, where we can actually target to bring them in, because I believe that form and fixture combined, along with some background stats, also give us an overall picture of which player to identify and bring into our squad. Because remember, it's not always necessary to fix a squad which is already fixed. However, it's always good to be aware that for whatever reason, if your player isn't fit enough to play for the next game week, which is game week 3, in this situation, who we can identify to bring in lastminute.com, because obviously with COVID and other things going on at the moment in the world, cancellations, we just don't know when we need to be prepared for the last minute kind of change. So stay tuned. I want to go through all the potential options that players that I've identified for game week 3 and why I think potentially they could be good enough to come into your starting 11. But before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed to FPL INKLING, hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't liked this video and you like it, give us a thumbs up and hit that like button. So let's go for candidate number 1, CUCURELLA. Now, apologies, he's still in his Brighton kit there. That's the only photo I could generally find online which had any quality. I don't think he's got any Chelsea photos available at the moment, but they will come with time. But why have I chosen him? Now, one of the biggest kind of stories at the time of recording this today, earlier when they played Spurs, was CUCURELLA's minutes. Is he going to be nailed? Is he going to be playing? He played extremely well. So first thing, let's just discuss how good he played. He played on the left side of the kind of defensive pack for Chelsea. He's on set pieces, so he's delivered corners. He's taken free kicks as well. And what I did like about him is he's not afraid to get into the box and provide an opportunity for an assist, but also take a shot on himself. Now, how nailed on is he to play? Obviously, there will be always a risk of rotation because Chelsea, as a top squad, is blessed with an abundance of players that can play week in, week out. For example, CUCURELLA, there could be Chilwell when he comes back to that spot as well. People are also talking about left wing back, also left centre back, so the left side of the centre back. But then they've got Koulibaly and then they've got Thiago Silva. It just doesn't make sense. They want to also buy Fornells as well. They got Reece James, Loftus-Cheek played right wing back as well until he got subbed off. So there's a lot of choice. So when the other competitions begin, like FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, will CUCURELLA still be number 1 for the Premier League season? So this is why I know he's very tempting at 5 million, but the only thing that puts me off is the risk of rotation. And it's only just one game week, guys. So I do want to see a bit more from him. Therefore, I personally bring him in. But he certainly did catch my eye in terms of the performance he gave. Is it warranting a place in my squad at the moment immediately? Probably not. But if you've got someone like Matty Cash, for example, in your squad who's injured and you're looking for a replacement, this guy with the fixtures coming up, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, I've got 5 fixtures that Chelsea have in the next 5 game weeks for FPL. Leeds away. By no means an easy fixture, but I believe that they are good enough to keep a clean sheet there. Leicester at home. Again, Leicester haven't been firing much defensively, but they've scored a few goals, even including on the weekend. But I think Chelsea are good enough to accumulate another clean sheet there. Southampton away. I think at the moment, Manchester United and Southampton are the 2 teams anyone would like to play. West Ham at home, I think, should be a comfortable fixture for Chelsea, and Fulham away. So 3 of the 5 fixtures are actually green, according to the fixture difficulty of the FPL website. So CUCURELLA could be a great short-term prospect, but am I confident to say long-term he's a good prospect for you to have? At the moment, because we've got an injury, or not, I wouldn't say injury, but he hasn't fully recovered to match fitness, according to Tuchel. Chilwell, CUCURELLA may get more minutes, but I do believe that in the short term, if you're looking for a replacement for Cash or alternative 5 million players, for example, if you want to take money away from your midfield for Bailey, downgrade him to like a 4.5 and you got some spare cash and you want to upgrade your 4.5 or £4 million defender to a £5 million defender, then CUCURELLA may be your answer if you don't own him already. So that's my first pick, is CUCURELLA. He's been talked about a lot. Not for me this week. But short term, I will understand, and I do fully understand if you were to bring him into your squads to accumulate some points over the next 5 game weeks. Now, number 2, this may shock you why I've put Maddison in there, but generally I watched the game between Arsenal and Leicester. Now, defensively, I must say, I would say do not go for anyone. I even recommend avoiding goalkeepers such as Ward and Iverson from Leicester. However, Maddison caught my eye. He scored a goal, yes, albeit lucky. He should have saved it in terms of Ramsdale. It went through his legs. But this guy, he's always on it for Leicester. He's pretty much carrying that team himself. Southampton at home is a really good fixture. So if you're looking to move on from an 8 million midfielder that's let you down, or if you're just generally looking to get another £8 million midfielder in and you have the budget for this, I recommend Maddison might be a good shout. I know after that they've got Chelsea away, which is a tough game, but we haven't got him in for defensive duty. So he could get a goal there. Then they've got Manchester United at home. Two bad teams playing against each other. There should be goals galore there. And I think he'll give United defence a tough time because he's that good. And then Brighton away will be a tough game. And Aston Villa at home, I think, should be another good game for him to, show his repertoire and see how many points we can accumulate. So Leicester as a whole, not a good team. If you're looking to get someone around the 8 million mark who's showing a bit of form, he's in much more better form than I believe. Obviously, and if you look at him compared to Saka, who hasn't got any return so far. Maddison has shown good form. There are some relatively decent fixtures. Yes, Chelsea seems a difficult game. But if you're looking for a differential pick, low ownership, he gets minutes, he will play, and this guy looks to get into some kind of form before he can get actually selected for the World Cup squad for Gareth Southgate. So I'm just giving you alternative players to keep a lookout. I personally won't bring him in this week because I'm happy with Kulusevski, but if I were to be looking for an alternative, he definitely will be in my eyes to see if I can bring him in if he carries on with the good form. Next, we're going to move to the £6 million bracket, and who better to go into than Gabriel Martinelli. We talked about him last week, how well he started. Another 8 points in this game week, so he's averaging 8 points every game that he's played so far, which is 2 game weeks. And the fixtures seem to, continue on to be better for Arsenal. That Manchester United game, it says red on there. That's at Old Trafford. I think that should be changed to, maximum of a grey-green or a grey 3. Not grey-green, or a green 2, which is the other fixtures as well by FPL, because I don't think it's going to be that hard for Arsenal. If they carry on the way they're playing, and United carry on the way they're playing, it will be a walkover for them. I think they'll play that well, because that defence is definitely someone that Martinelli, even Xhaka played well. They've got Jesus, Saka in there as well. They're going to give them nightmares. Harry Maguire and Martinez won't know what's hit them. That's how good I rate these guys at the moment. So Martinelli, he's gone up to 6.1 mil. Ownership is increasing, but this guy is Mr. Consistent in his price range, a really good pick. So people are talking about who shall I get rid of for Bailey or Neto. This guy, if you don't have him in your squad, it's about time you guys bring him in because the fixtures look good and the forms and the underlying stats for this player look absolutely incredible. It's just not a 2-game week wonder. This guy played well last season. This guy's played well pre-season and he's continuing to play well at present. So if you don't own him, I suggest you revise your targets of players, and this guy should be in your list. I haven't put him number 1 for a reason because I've talked about him in previous videos, but I believe that he's definitely worthy of this list, and that's why I brought him into the £6 million category, or £6.1 million if you want to say it, because this guy is worth being part of your squad. Now, last but not least, I've got Harry Kane in this player watch list. Despite not playing extremely well, he still came away. Obviously, I believe it's controversial. I don't think it should have been his goal. He still got the goal. This is what shows the quality of Harry Kane. He doesn't have to play well to get a return. He was very unlucky not to get a return last week against Southampton, but I just personally believe that with the fixtures that are coming up with Wolves, Forest, West Ham, Fulham, 4 out of 5 fixtures I think are really good. And even against Man City last season, he's proved a point previously. He's got a good record against them. So I believe that, if you don't want to get Haaland in or you've been priced out of Haaland, stick with Harry Kane. You don't need to make any further changes to get Haaland in. You've gone through the difficult fixture. There's no harm in backing him now. And I know his ownership's low, and if he does well, it helps you. But again, if Haaland does well, that might affect your rank as well. If you're looking to do any drafts, such as like Threemiums, for example, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to, back Kane, who's tried and tested, why not? So that's why I've got him in this draft for a very good reason, because most of the questions have been around, there are many managers that have actually asked me questions that they missed the opportunity to get Haaland in because of the price rise, and they probably potentially can get him in this week. Again, they're both as good as each other. If you want to take hits to get Haaland in, fully understandable, because I got Haaland in before the price rise. I know how awkward it would be for me if I didn't own Haaland with like nearly 60% of managers owning him. But this guy can't be ignored with the fixtures that are coming up. He's showing some passion and he got the winner. Whether it was the winner or not, that's up for debate. But Harry Kane should be taken seriously because I think that as an FPL community, yes, Haaland's the new toy in town and we all want him with the fixtures and form that he's showing great. But this guy shouldn't be ignored and it's a great alternative to have if you can't get to Haaland in itself. So that's why I brought him into the FPL player watch list, because I believe he's that good that he should be, continue to be on people's watch lists and be brought into their squads. If you're wildcarding and you want to try to get, both Kane and Haaland in, I just want to give you guys the confidence that, I think this guy's good enough to be in any FPL squad. And that's how good I rate and highly I rate this guy as a player as well. So that is the player watch list, guys. So these are the 4 players that I'm saying that you guys should keep a lookout for game week 3. If you're looking to create your squad in terms of a wild card, these guys should be looked into. However, if you're just looking to make the odd transfer here and there, so I've kind of tried to pick a player from each position. So I don't pick any goalkeepers because I think goalkeepers shouldn't be rotated, but I gave you a defender in CUCURELLA, 2 midfielders in 2 different price points. So MADDISON for an £8 million midfielder and Martinelli for a 6.1-ish. They might go up in price around that much in terms of investment for a player. And then I've given you Harry Kane. There are alternatives. You can look at maybe Ivan Toney, good fixtures, good points in the first 2 game weeks. However, there are alternative players you can look at to bring into your squad. But I've picked Kane specifically for this video because I believe that, there are managers out there who are actually at the moment panicking of whether we should go Haaland or Kane. I just want to give them the reassurance that this guy doesn't have to play well to get points. And he's proved that today in the Spurs game. So keep a lookout for him. Keep him in your squad if you have. And if you can't afford Haaland and you want to get either one of Kane or Haaland in, I think it's worthwhile even going for Kane if you haven't got either of those players at the moment. So that's the player watch list for game week 3, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are there any other players that you're looking at the moment that I haven't discussed? Let me know in the comment section. If you guys haven't subscribed to FPL INKLING yet, not to worry. No better time than now. Hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. The family is continuing to grow. Thank you so much for viewing my content. Thank you so much for all your positive and kind words. I really appreciate it. I want you guys to take care. Get your transfers done early before any price rises. Stay tuned for more content and promise me to hit that subscribe button as well. Have a good one. Take care of yourself and I'll see you guys soon.